How's it going, everyone? Um, let's talk about something that's very, very important when it comes to our law enforcement and our correction facilities, specifically our facilities, institutions, as well as our correctional institutions in whole. And I want to talk to you today about a DOJ investigation, Department of Justice investigation. And so um, I want to dive in today with that with you guys on really on how to go through that process, because that sometimes is very a scary process for leaders. And so I've learned that a DOJ investigation, it can feel like a hurricane hitting your facility, sudden, overwhelming, and high stakes. And if you don't know exactly what to expect, it's easy to make it a costly mistake that can follow your agency for years. I'm Kramer Harvey, the founder of Harvey Consulting, and I've navigated DOJ investigations from both sides, um, with a state agency, juvenile justice, as well as a county local detention center. Both of them went through the DOJ process, and I was actually on the front lines as well as a leading director in one of them. And today, I wanted to share exactly actually what happens during a DOJ investigation and how to prepare so you can protect your facility, your staff, and your reputation. And so I've seen this process as an insider, helping facilities meet federal standards. And I've worked with, like I said, two agencies that went through this process. And both of those roles, one thing became clear: the facilities that succeeded are the ones with the fewest problems. They're actually the ones who prepared early and respond strategically. And so today, I want to help you, give you a small understanding of what a strategic plan looks like to go through this process. If you've ever been through it, if you've never been through it, here's the reality. There's four things that's going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to receive a notice. You'll receive a formal notification, and from that moment, every action counts. Um, you're going to go through a review process. DOJ teams is going to request lots of records, policies, and data. They're going to interview your staff and your detainees. And so that's going to be some form of disruption to your facility or to your agency. The third thing that's going to happen through this process is there's going to be a finding. Um, they're going to issue a finding report, which can be difficult to read, but it's also a roadmap to compliance. And I want to put a pin right here and just share with you this note that the DOJ are the DOJ members that are um, heading this investigation are not your enemies. In 99% cases, they don't even know who you are. All they know is that they received complaints and allegations of misconduct of some nature, and they're there to do their job. And so, as a law enforcement agent, um, a professional, I know what it looks like when it comes to investigating people, and they got their guard up. They don't want to help you out during an investigation, and sometimes it's them versus us. Let me be clear: it's not a them versus us. It's how can we make your facility better than what it was or better than what we heard it was. And so if you have that mindset as a leader, if you have that mindset as a director, a sheriff, a county administrator, then it's going to trickle down to your people. And this process is going to go about seamlessly. Now, on the other hand, if you have the understanding or the mindset that they're your enemy, then this process is going to drag out long and it's going to be costly. Um, Harvey Consultant does not want you to have that latter mindset. I would love for you to have the mindset that this is just a way for us to make our agency better. And we're going to use the DOJ to help us do that. And so that's what we do with Harvey Consulting. That's one of the things that we come in, we help you, we motivate your staff to get your staff to understand that this is just a process. It's going to make the agency better. Their staff is going to feel better. The detainees are going to feel better. And we're going to get through this. The the last thing of the investigation that could possibly happen or would happen is there's going to be some type of agreement. Often there's what they call a consent decree or settlement agreement requiring detailed corrective actions. Now, I've been a part of agencies where we had to go through a consent decree, but also been a part of an agency where we did not have to go through a consent decree. It was just basically an agreement that we was going to fix these items, and we fixed those items, and then it then the the findings of the report, then after we fixed the findings of the report, then it went to another level, which it didn't settle for a consent decree, and that's what we want. And so when you look at how you can get through this process, the quicker you able to handle those things that brought DOJ into your institution, the quicker that they can do their job and move on. And so I'll share that with you on the point of there's really not a time based on this. It's more based on how fast can you fix the problems. um, and so Harvey Consultant, that's what Harvey Consultant do. When we come into your institution, into your facility, we look at fixing those DOJ items before DOJ even give us a finding report. Yes, that's what we do. We look at those high item items. We look at your report. We go through your report and say, okay, let's fix these things. And so that yeah, that right there will curtail all of the all of the issues that you may have when you're talking about longevity. We don't want you to go long. We want you to we want to fix this stuff as quickly as possible and get your facility turned back over to you where you can operate the way you need to operate it. When I help facilities through the DOJ investigation, through my consulting services, I focus on three phases. The first phase is the navigation phase, which I underscore the scope, aligning your leadership team, as well as creating a clear plan. That is one unique thing that Harvey Consulting does that other consulting services do not do. We actually help you build a leadership team or a strategic operation team so that you can keep the momentum going. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't. As a director, as a county administrator, as a sheriff, you cannot lead the agency by yourself. You got to have a core group of people that actually can continue this momentum of making of ensuring that best practices are being conducted, as well as the reporting phase, making sure your data is clean, making sure all of that is where it needs to be. That's what your strategic operations team will look like. And we Harvey Consultant will work with your team. We would show your team these strategies. We would actually get your team to the point to where when we leave, they still carry on your mission. The second phase that we focus on is the compliance phase. We update your policies. Yes, we update your policies, we train your staff, and we conduct mock inspections before DOJ does. And so when we're looking at your policies, we're working with your strategic operations team, updating those main policies, creating new policies, streamlining policies. And we also go into the phase of training your staff. We ensure that your staff is trained according to your policies. We do inspections, ensuring that what is actually written is actually being followed. The third thing, and which is a very important one, is the exit and sustainability, closing out the investigation and keeping your facility compliant long term. It makes no sense for us to do all this good stuff before and then we can't sustain the progress. And so we want to ensure that we get you to that point to where there's some sustainability. And guess what? Guess what? It starts with that creating that team, that strategic operation team of yours that we work with from the beginning of this process to the end so that they can actually keep the momentum and move forward with the progress. That's what Harvey Consulting does. We're here for you. I understand the headache that this DOJ investigation can bring upon you. Many nights I didn't sleep because of going through this process. And that's why I want to bring a clear, concise, strategic roadmap for you to get you through this so that you won't have to go through what I went through. If your facility is facing DOJ oversight, preparing for it, or simply want to make sure you're ready, I can help you. Click the link in the description to schedule a free consultation with me. We'll review your current readiness and we'll create a plan that gives you clarity, control, and confidence throughout this process. You do not have to face DOJ investigation alone. Let's get you prepared. Take care.